Hello, welcome to South of the King's Landing Explosion Network's Up Show, where we're discussing each and every episode currently of House of the Dragon Season 2. My name's Dylan Blight, and joining me, Ashley Hopley.
Hey Dylan, excited to be here. Excited that, it's full on Game of Thrones, We're dreaming about fucking our mums.
Classic.
Yep.
Yep. This week's... Now, hold on, just before, because there's no way I'm going to come back to this. Did we know that was... We didn't know that was his mum until she said something, right?
She died young,
yeah.
So he would never know.
Yeah, okay. But, we don't know what she looks like either.
No.
Okay, good.
So it was a surprise.
Yeah, it was a surprise for all that were there. This week's episode titled Regent, directed by Clare, Kilner, written by Mikkel. Synopsis was a lot. Amid whispers of bad omens, the Greens consider how to fill a void on Aegon's council. Jacaerys sets out on a rogue mission to strike a deal. Damon enlists Lord Willem Blackwood to help persuade the Brackens to bend the knee. What did you think of this week's episode, Ash?
Yes, solid episode. I think, it was interesting. There's a lot of smaller plot events that were taking place over the episode. There's not a major... There's not going to be anything in this episode that people are going to remember, I don't think. Or come back at the end of the season and say, oh, well, that was the standout moment of the season. But again, it's just moving the pieces as the war is going on to hopefully, set up bigger things in the future.
It was easily the worst episode of the season. Come on, what are you talking about?
It can be the weakest, but I'm not going to go... I don't think there was anything objectively bad about the episode.
I do. And I'll tell you what, I'll go straight to it. I'm sick of Damon and his weird castle quest is what I've decided.
Okay.
I've reached the point with Damon's story where the mystery surrounding the weird witch shit combined with him just losing his mind and just him wandering around the castle most of the time. I'm over it. I've had enough. I'm bored of it now. I feel like I'm going nowhere with it. I feel like we check in every episode and they tell me stuff's happening and you hear about things happening, but this week's battle or whatever you want to call it happened off screen, which is fine, but not fine also because it's just Damon wandering around the castle going, I want to be king. Oh, I fucked my mom. Oh, I'm dreaming about young fucking Rhaenyra. Oh, I'm over it. Enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the most interesting element of the show.
It's easily the weak. It has been consistently the weakest element of the show, and I think maybe in an episode that's doing the normal Game of Thrones thing of following a big battle with just seeing how all the characters react to that. That's fine, but it's just maybe that helps it stand out more as this would be the episode where you sort of need Damon stuff to be the more interesting when most of the characters are just being sad and thinking about what their next plan of action should be, and then Damon's just doing the same shit that he's been doing every other fucking episode. I'm I'm over you, Damon. Just kill him off already.
Wow. Can't believe you're hating mentally ill people.
Is he mentally ill?
Yeah, he's having his hallucinations.
I don't think that makes him mentally ill.
Does that not make you mentally ill?
Not I don't think by definition.
Not in that day and age?
No. If a witch is living under your roof, are you mentally ill or just under a spell?
Witches aren't real, Dylan.
But in the terms of this fantasy world of the show which we're watching, because and here's the other thing I'll say before I get to any of the whatever stuff. You get to the end of this week's episode, and really, I feel out of every other episode, it's the most easily summarized in 2 sentences, and just it's easily the weakest. It's just not much to discuss, really.
A lot of character moments.
Yeah, but not a lot. It's a lot. It's it boils down. It's a lot of characters just having the same thing. It's Corley's is sad then mad, and then decides he's going to do something. Rhaenyra is sad and mad, and then at the end of the episode, she's going to do something. Jacaerys is mad, and then does something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and they're not like big character pieces. The most interesting thing in the episode's the reveal at the end, which we'll get to. But outside of that, I'm like, okay, every character just does the usual, like, someone died, I'm sad, and now I'm angry at someone, have a little bitch fight with some character, and then by the end of the episode, they've all decided to we've moved from here to here. Yes, they've moved, but I don't feel like a single character in this episode has like a big, and that's my problem with it. I need one character to have like a more than a little inch of character momentum. In this episode, every character just gets tiny. It's a fucking hour 10 long episode.
It's how war works down. It's fought in inches, not in meters.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Or yards.
And Damon, I'm just over it. Kill him. He's going to die soon. Just wait. I think he dies this season.
Maybe. I think he's pissed off enough people that, I don't know if he sticks around.
Season finale, he dies. I have nothing to back that on other than both my wants, needs, and presuming everyone in the show dies at some point. We're already told he dies there. That's what the witch said. So,
you just going to believe a witch?
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, just get into this oven. The witch told you to.
Yeah, why not?
Sure, nothing bad will happen.
No, you're thinking of a different fairy tale. What character stuff did you like from this episode then?
I mean, all the green stuff was pretty interesting. Like, them putting the Regent in place. Like, I'm surprised, number one, Aegon lived.
Yeah, it was so funny
give him
that
props.
we spent all last week. We're like, man, he's dead. It's crazy. What's going to happen? He's dead. It's crazy. What's going to happen? Anyway.
Give him props. He fell from a very high distance and managed to survive somehow. Not in great condition.
Landed on his dragon.
Maybe it broke the fall a little bit. It sounds like the dragon survived as well for the most part.
No, dragon's dead, right?
Or was like on his last legs, but Chris and Cole said he was leaving his dragon there to.
Yeah, but then later Rhaenyra said something about it, like one dragon dead. Yeah. So.
But yeah, I mean, all that, and obviously, Alicent's, again, feeling powerless, I guess, because she tries to position herself as a regent, gets over, looked over or passed over for Aegon, who she is 100% believed set her son on fire.
Yeah.
Like, that was patricide. I can tell. That's my hunch, And yeah, I thought that side was compelling. Aegon kind of immediately just making the city worse, but also making a couple of good moments, like cutting down the rat catchers finally.
Yeah, cuts down the rat catchers, but then proceeds to just block off the
just
city.
Lock everybody in.
Lock everyone in.
Yep.
Always good.
Oh, absolutely.
Just what's the deal with I don't know if I blinked and missed something, but why is that lady sneaking back into the city? What's the
Mystery
center or whatever? Yeah.
Yeah, she's sent her there to do something that I suspect we'll find out next episode. To kind of, I'm suspecting to rally the lower people in like the working class against the crown.
Okay, that would make sense.
That was my impression. Like, yeah, let's start a revolt within King's Landing.
I mean, I feel like they don't probably at this stage. You don't need much to start that. Given,
oh no, you just need a spark.
Yeah, yeah.
Like they look like they were going to stomp out those the Kingsguard like when they locked up the doors. So.
Yeah, so we've got a king. What is it? Consort? No.
Regent.
Yeah, king. Oh, title. Yeah, regent. Yeah, I mean, as you said last week, he's not like he's a bit sadistic. Obviously, is the problem. He loves a bit of violence. He's the Daemon of the green side. So the equivalent. They both like fight. I mean, the thing is, I don't feel like he's much better or a worse king than they had before anyway. So it doesn't really matter.
They're different.
Different, but
I would argue he's a more competent.
Probably, yeah.
Figure, but obviously with that sadistic side, which doesn't bode well for anybody.
I liked, at least in that scene, just the play of the slow zoom in with the screeching to show the panic attack that Alicent was basically having once
he
the
was
realization, everything, and he's in his position. That was good, but
now she's effectively powerless. Because she knows she's got no sway over Aegon or Aemon.
Also, the part where
Christian Cole.
Yeah, it's not like she was trying to. Well, Christian Cole's a fuckhead. Say that each and every week. The
also her man Laris full on betraying her in that moment as well. So I mean,
all these men in her life, and then fucking Clubfoot's like, yeah, look, we can't put a woman in power after we just took a woman off the throne.
I mean, he's got a point. Optics,
Optics. Yeah. The optics in this scenario are not good. We are the right. We do hate women. We cannot be seen to liking the women.
Yeah. Lifting up women. Can't do that.
Lifting up, no. So good, yeah. What do you think of Jace running off to sit down and drink wine?
Yeah, very princely, Going out there, making it's the phrase, right? Yeah, so we know that they don't get Harrenhal in the end, right?
I don't know. I can't remember.
They might. I don't know. Because obviously it's a big hole. I can't. Where is the red wedding held?
Where is the red wedding held? Good question.
At the twins. So I'm guessing they didn't get Harrenhal. Or, he's not. I guess the name changes maybe at some point.
Sorry, what?
So the red wedding happens at the twins.
Mm-hmm.
So not at Harrenhal. So the phrase "don't get Harrenhal" or it's a lineage thing, and some other named house takes over at Harrenhal. I don't know.
Well, it says that oh, fucking so confusing.
It is. Why can't they just give us the answers that we want straight away?
Oh, the Lannisters get it.
That makes sense.
Tywin goes there. Fucking
spoilers.
Game of Thrones lore is just too exploring. Too hard. All right. Yep. So then you've got as I said, Corlys gets sad, angry, and then obviously chooses to become the hand at the end of the episode. That's how I took that. Is that how we're taking that? Corlys sad, angry, and then decides to become the hand. Right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's how that played out, right?
Yeah. And he's justified. He's justified to be sad, angry, and
he's justified to be sad. But I mean, she wasn't sent. She went on her own.
His wife, Dylan. His wife of the only direct family member he had left.
Yeah.
He's lost his daughter. Lost his son, he believes. Now his wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, die like a man or cry like a bitch,
Wow, just heartless. No empathy at all.
And then the big reveal at the end of the episode that makes a lot more things in this whole fucking season make much more sense is at the end of the episode, Rhaenyra and Jace are like, "Hey, man, we can't fight Vega. Vega's too big," which he is. He's a big boy. There's we need dragons. Jace is like, "I can fight him," and Rhaenyra's like, "Your dragon's a little wee lad."
Young.
young, can't do much. So we got all these big dragons. And then they're like, well, you can't just throw anyone on them. You need people of dragon blood and stuff like that. But doesn't need to be full blood. Oh. And now I'm like, oh, all these random bastards we keep getting introduced to this season starts to make a little more sense.
Yep.
So presumably, old mate Corley's savior / bastard.
No, because if he's from Corlys' line, he's not. Well, I guess.
But still.
Oh, no, their line does have some.
Yes, exactly. So I'm presuming he's one. Then you've got the dude
The old mate in the tavern.
You got old mate in the tavern. Yeah.
Well, there's only 2 dragons, I believe, so.
Yeah. So that's the 2, I think, right? Unless they're red herrings. But, I mean, that makes
Unless it's the dude with his daughter.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry, the dude with his daughter, the Ironsmith, not I think the red herring's the dude who was like yapping on.
The one who claims to be.
The one he claims, not the one who's claiming, but the 2 people.
I reckon he comes in and he gets burnt to fuck by a dragon.
That would be good, actually. Yeah. That would be very funny. So I'm going to say the 2 who succeed are the ones who have said nothing about potential lineages, and the one who fails would be the one who's been yapping off in a bar about being related. That would make much more sense. But also, once the episode ended with that, and I was like, oh, that makes, all these random characters that could or could not be, bastards, slight relations. That makes a lot more sense now. Because up until this point, I was like, why? What is with all these? And you're just presuming something will pay off. You're like, what is with all these random characters? Even in this episode, when we go back to seeing the Ironsmith, and they're just like, oh, he still hasn't been paid. I'm like, I don't know. Is this just my perspective into the city? Old mate's not getting paid. I understand that sucks, but I'm spending a lot of time with him. Still more interesting than Damon at this point, but anyway.
Harsh. I mean, also on Damon, he said about the Brackens going with the other.
Well, that's what I mean. They had their battle off screen, basically.
It wasn't a battle.
Well, that's what I mean. If you want to call it,
it was
that's what's like quotation
rape and pillaging. It's rape
and pillaging.
Pretty fucked up stuff. So
yeah, probably best we didn't see it by the sound of it. But
again, it feels like Damon's not a great leader. Or
Damon's a terrible leader. Also,
they fucked up because again they did it with it's like, do this in secret. Don't bring it back to me. And they literally fly his banners.
Yeah.
So is it just a case of him being surrounded by incompetent people?
Probably. Mm-hmm. What would you call the husband of the queen, king consort? The consort part sounds a bit unnecessary, don't you think? Fuck off. What a loser. Anyway, looking forward to him dying. Anything else in this week's episode?
Interesting to see the Eerie. We get a look with Layla, the other daughter.
Oh right, yeah.
One of Damon's
you
daughters.
promised us dragons.
Yeah, you got 2.
You got 2. I meant really big ones.
No, you didn't. Also, the episode opening with them parading Melissa's head through through King's Landing, kind of messed up. But I'm assuming that's also the dragon head we've seen under King's Landing in Game of Thrones, right?
No, the dragon head under they showed that in season 1. That's a really famous dragon, completely different one. So some part I can't remember. In season 1, old Rhaenyra's down there and her dad talks about it, and that has to be the same one that's down there now. Yep. That is later. So some famous dragon.
I feel that it was a big misdirect when the old mate came out and he says oh, I thought the dragons were gods, and he's like, no, they just meat.
Just meat.
I'm like, yeah. I thought they were all going to get dragon meat to sate themselves.
I did like that scene though, because no one. It's like that whole thing.
It totally had the opposite reaction to what
it had. The you could meme it like that Fallout thing. It's like no one liked that, or top right hand corner. Just no one appreciated that. Not a single person liked that dragon head being dragged through town, which makes sense. When you think about it, it's a place that's been ruled by Targaryens for long enough now that dragons are seen as these, beautiful protectors and creatures, and now there's one just being dragged through the street like that. They don't. That's not how they've grown to appreciate dragons. So, all right, they'll do it. Council is over for another week. Of course, check out exposure.com for all the other great things over there, and join us next week for another episode of South of King's Landing.